was enough. I'd smile all the time. Beyond the best of me, there's more than meets the eye.
All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome once again to the new now. Freedom. Hooked on freedom. What does it mean? I haven't done a new, unique one in a little while. I've been considering and meditating and wondering. So many people come to this world. So many people come to this life. So many people come to our channel, the videos, the ones I've done with so many people over the years. And a lot of the questions and a lot of the, let's say, complaints or challenges, if you want to be more polite, that people seem to have is understanding the full power they have. What is imagination? Why are you here? Why were you born? What did you come with? Do you feel that if you are allowed to be alive, and I really do think it's an allowance, it's a gift, it's something that we get, you get a certain amount of years, so you're allowed to be here. Usually they don't go any further than, a lifespan. And for me, that's the most wonderful of gifts that you can imagine. So you're here, you were born. Maybe that's what is meant by sin, in that sin in Spanish just means without. So if you feel you have sin, you could feel you were born without. You could feel you're missing something. You could feel you need something. I strongly feel from my own experiences, as much as I've had challenges, as much as my life has been very hard, as much as I've been as stupid as anybody could possibly be and still be alive, barely some days, and almost didn't make it, at least a half a dozen times that I can count in my life. We have all that we require from the day we take our first breath to the last to make our life as we see fit. The challenges, I feel, come when we decide we don't want to face the challenges. When we see that we're not really interested in following through with what our heart's desires wish for. So many of us have an idea, they have a feeling, something hits them that they want to follow through with, something hits them that they want to do, that they want to accomplish. And then for one reason or 100 reasons, they decide they can't do it or they don't want to do it. I've even seen recently people that, they want to follow their love, they want to follow their heart, they want to have the best of lives, but I have too much on my plate now. I'm too busy. I'm too sick, I'm too old, I'm too tired, I'm too poor, I'm too, whatever, occupied in this job or this relationship or the other relationship. And then these excuses come up, right? So what is blocking most or any of us from where we need to go, from what I've seen, and I can only talk about myself, is our desire to put the effort in to get there, to figure it out. It's not about money. It's not about age. It's not about, geographical location. It's not about health or wealth or fitness or whether you're a man or a woman or whatever. It's all about what you decide is possible for you, and you're willing to put the effort in. You're willing to pay the price, whatever that is. You're willing to lose whatever you need to lose to gain whatever you'd like to gain. You're willing to see, seek, and find, create, and unbind from whatever's holding you back towards where you would like to go. What is your imagination? What can you imagine? Image in. You can put anything into yourself that you can desire. So what I have seen and what I strongly feel is if we are born, if we are here, if we come, we have everything we need. Anybody or anyone that says, it's a simulation, it's a prison, it's a school, it's a test, it's a challenge. What if this life is simply about you exploring yourself and figuring out for yourself all of the wonderful potential we have by being born into this dream? Are there challenges? Of course there are challenges. Has my life had its horrors and evils and downs and ups? Of course they have. Have I been able to get over all of them? Yes. Has it been easy? Not at all. Right? It is in the challenge that you find what you need to find. It is in the horrors that you find the light of what you can accomplish. It's through stress, it's through climbing the mountain that your muscles get strong. It's through facing adversity that you find your hidden resources and how to get over, under, or through. We can all succeed in the ways that we want to succeed if we decide we're willing to pay the price, whatever it is. If you have a reason, if you have an excuse, if you're too busy, too rich, too poor, too old, too young, too stuck, too many bills, those are the challenges sitting in front of your face. Those are the ways that you can seek to replace whatever you need to so that you can make something new. Perhaps we're all just born with an imbalance of energy. I mean, our parents, nobody's parents are perfect. We've all had challenges from our parents. I haven't met anyone yet who hasn't picked up a whole bunch of potentially bad habits or bad ways or bad ideas, beliefs about being alive. And by bad, I mean unloving from their parents. And if you blame them, that's where you are. You get stuck. But if they pass these imbalances along to you, which they do, and I've said it before, I still believe, I still have a strong feeling that we choose our parents. So they pass these imbalances along to you. And it's not to carry this burden for the rest of your life. It's not to complain, oh, woe is me. It's not to say, I wish my parents were richer, younger, another country, different religion. I've had all those thoughts. It's so that you can take those imbalances and transform them. You can be better than your parents. And by better, I don't mean have more money. I don't mean live longer. And I don't mean have a better relationship or be better with your children, although all those things are certainly possible. By better, I mean you take the imbalance that your mother passed along and your father passed along or your parents passed along, and you transform it. You balance it into something loving. We all can consider an ideal of having a better world to live in and with and through. We all can consider having a better life of abundance and love and fruition and wonder and joy and beauty and songs and poetry and flowers and dancing and enough food and all of the things that you love to do. Creativity, mystery, infinite possibility. But what if the door leading there is a door of imbalance that is your birthright? And a birthright isn't necessarily something that seems good at the time or bad at the time. I mean, obviously, all of us, you go, well, I was born into a rich family, so I inherited, gazillion dollars. So that's a good thing. Most people would say that, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's true. You could get stuck without having to face any challenges because you can pay your way through all of the ones that this world seems to bring to you. And then you become wretched. Let's say you're too beautiful or too handsome or too rich, too privileged. Then you don't get challenged into seeing what you need to figure out for yourself that's beyond what gets offered as a reward in this potential reality. By that, I mean beyond the physical, beyond the monetary, something that you have to find that's internal and bring that external so that you can learn to be the creators that you are. I have seen for myself, I'll be very strong here. I'm a creator. I make my reality. I see how I need to be, and I don't mean the law of attraction. To me, you attract how you are, so it works, but not by your thought process. If you change who you are on the inside, then you attract something new. And I don't mean you have to go in and tell yourself you're great or you're fantastic or you're amazing. I think you just simply have to accept who you are. If you've been horrible, you can accept it. I can accept it. If you've been fantastic, you can accept it. If you want a better life, you think you can't have it, you can accept that. If you've done horrible things to, many, many people in your life, and by horrible, again, I mean unloving, and I'll point my finger at myself. I've been unloving more times than I care to count. It's twisted my guts when I've considered some of the not loving things I've done in relationships, siblings, parents, people I meet, dirty looks I give people I don't like, even having disastrous thoughts about somebody that's too loud or too annoying or too slow or too fast with whatever they're doing and how they're helping me or not. But by accepting how I haven't been loving and just accepting it, not transforming it, not lying about it, not candy coating it, not denying it, not feeling that I've been done wrong somehow, by really getting it. And I don't mean in my head getting it, I mean allowing it to get into my guts. You all feel when something bad happens, I'm going to throw up, right? There's a challenge, you see something you don't like. So by getting it into your guts, just accepting, going, well, it's true. For me, I found very soon after that, even in that moment, even the next day, even the same day, my energy will transform because I've balanced, I've untwisted some knots I've put inside myself. Yes, I was horrible these 72 times in my teens. Yes, my first job was not one of loving kindness to society. Yes, my first relationship was built on selfish loneliness or whatever. Not all, but, and then you have an excuse or you have a reason. We all have reasons. We've all been silly when we've been younger. We're all naive at times in our life. We've all had, again, bad ideas and beliefs from religions and parents and schooling and magazines and TV and cell phones and, videos now on YouTube and all those things. But that's not the point. The point is you've allowed these things to come in, even if you were young, even if you were 3 or 4 or 5, somebody passed something along to you, let's say that wasn't loving, that wasn't kind, that wasn't what you would like to recreate in your life now that you're not 3 anymore, maybe you're 43 or 53 or 63. And that can bring you to a place by accepting it of balancing this imbalance that you came into in this life. Again, why not believe or accept that you chose your parents, whether it's true or not? Because then right away, one of the ways that you're a victim is gone. All right, so even if you're not 100% convinced that it's true, play the game. Say, why did I choose these parents? Let's say I did. You don't even have to believe you did or you didn't. It could just be something you do, an exercise to see, why you chose them. And from there, I would say, and I've seen, choose or see or seek 3 characteristics of your parents, both sets that you like, and 3 that you don't like, and see how you're like that and see why you asked. See why you asked to be in the situation you've been in, whether it's a situation of a relationship you're coming out of, whether it's a situation of the family you were born into, whether it's a situation where you went shopping and somebody was mean to you, whatever. Ask yourself the next time something bad happens, why did I ask for this experience? Not, oh my goodness, they're horrible, or oh my goodness, they're wrong. Maybe they're horrible. Maybe they're wrong. Maybe, they've been impolite. Maybe you got ripped off if you bought a bad product or something like that, or a bad meal. But that's not the point. Why did I ask for it? Why did I buy that product? Why did I walk into the restaurant? Why did I choose this relationship? Why did I walk down that street in the morning instead of the other way? Why did I go here instead of there? If you really are honest with yourself and sit down and you decide and you see and you pick up all the pieces of how it's your fault, and by your fault, I mean your responsibility, you can have a response. You can change. If you're sitting and you push away and it's not your power, it's their fault. It's my parents' fault. It's my economic situation's fault. It's I'm a man, so that's the reason. I'm a woman, so that's the reason. It's the bad weather, so that's the reason. The economy sucks, so that's the reason, or whatever. This didn't happen. My check didn't arrive. My mother treated me poorly. My father spanked my ass too many times when I was 6. Then you're stuck. And so it's from a practical perspective that I suggest we look at it in that way. It's not from a moral perspective. It's not from a religious perspective. It's not from a prison planet perspective. It's not from a schooling perspective. It's not from a matrix perspective. It's not from any of that. It's from sitting around or sitting down and understanding, or maybe acting through. You have to get off your ass to change that. But if you act through what you're looking to accomplish and change, and you take responsibility for it, somehow, some way, you will find that you have the power to move through, to transform, to change. Maybe that's the meaning of life. So many people ask you, come here, you're given an imbalance. Your parents decided to bring you here. They made children, whether it was an accident or not, or they're just being sexy or not, or they deliberately wanted to procreate or not, reproduce, whatever. They decided to bring you here. They brought you into their energy. They brought you into their life. They brought you into their family, regardless of the circumstances on the outside. And from there, you picked up whatever you picked up by being in that family, your belief system, your warps of energy, your imbalances and your pluses, your balances and your beauty. I think everyone's picked up some wonderful things from their parents, no matter how horrible their parents have been, even if it's just how not to be. That can be a wonderful lesson in itself. And then you transform it. And then when you transform it, and by transforming it, let's say it becomes more loving or becomes more powerful, becomes more engaging, then you change yourself. When you change yourself, you change the people around you. Even if you live by yourself on an island and you become a better person, maybe you'll grow better fruit. Maybe you'll make better art. Maybe you'll sing better songs. Maybe you'll be much better with the local fauna and flora and environment, with the trees and the plants and the bees and the flowers and the fruit you grow. So you'll be better with that. Even if you never see another person your whole life, that will vibrate out and make a better planet, better world for everybody. And if animals that come in contact with you leave happier, maybe it's a bird that will fly away and help someone else. I don't know how it's going to work. I do know though that if you sit in fear and grief and lack of wonder, lack of responsibility, lack of imagination, lack of power, lack of potential, then that will radiate out, and that's not going to help anybody to a brighter, better, happier, more loving existence, because you will radiate it out if you transform it into something beyond a limitation, and that will affect the world around you. And that's all you can do. Pointing a finger at a politician or an economist or a monetary system or a government or a health condition and saying those aren't your fault, even if you can't imagine how it might be your fault, you can imagine by pointing you're stuck. So you're waiting for it to change. You're waiting for the economy to change. You're waiting for your health to change, right? You're waiting for your parents to change. You're waiting for your siblings to change. You're waiting for your husband or your wife or your friends to change so that you can somehow have a better life and somehow be rewarded with the gift of permission. You don't need permission. You have to reward yourself with that gift of permission. You have to reward yourself with the gift of power and wonder and the ability to choose again. So if you don't like what you see, choose again. If you're not happy with how you are, choose again. If you can't figure it out, try to figure it out. There is no right or wrong answer for yourself. There's only efforts. And if you make a mistake, try something else and never give up. Never give in, never quit. And then perhaps one day you'll find, like I have, even if it takes you decades, and it's taken me decades to get to some of my answers, no doubt about it, you will find the power to be happy and wonderful and free, even if the whole world seems around you that it's not that way. Even if 98% of the world is masked up or zapped up or zombied up or vampired up or parasite ridden, unloving whatevers. And we all know that there's a lot of that going around, no doubt about it. Doesn't really matter. If you transform yourself, you'll transform the people around you simply by laughing and smiling and being better. And I'm not trying to be new age or granola or anything like that. It's a power of accepting who you are by accepting how you've been wrong and unloving and not so nice and mean and greedy and selfish and guilt-ridden and all those things, even if it's just to yourself. Again, I hear a lot of people going, I've been nice to the outside world. Great. So how have you been cruel and mean to yourself, to your heart, to your own imagination, to your own potential? A lot of us have to look inside and see, and then you have to give yourself permission to allow the pain to gestate, to change, to compost, and then new things may be born from there. And with that in mind, we have launched Lost Soulmate Recovery Services. I'll leave the link below. We can help you find the right match for yourself if that's what you're interested in, the finest of matchmaking services. I will also leave the links below to newagora.ca, our website. There's all kinds of free information there. Obviously, you found my YouTube channel, so you can see all kinds of things here. So in other words, there are services, there's free information, there's free videos, there's other ways you can be helped. I have In Love Unlimited. I've done love coaching. All of these things. There's the potential to get a better life, to become better. There's nothing but opportunities. Even if you only have a nickel in your pocket, you can't buy anything, you can't give anybody any money, you can't donate or participate in any way. There's still so many free resources. I've literally put up thousands of articles over the last 12 years on newagora.ca, and not just myself, our past editor, present editor, all the hundreds and hundreds of people that have shared. There's so many wonderful people that have shared great information through us and with us, and none of it will cost you anything other than the effort or the potential or the awareness to check it out and to see how you can put those bits of, let's say, suggestions into play for yourself to help yourself to a better place. All right. I'm Lorenzo. Thank you for being here. Again, I'll leave all the links below. If anyone has any questions or suggestions or anything they'd like to do or share or me to do in a future video, I'm happy to do that. And I hope to see you again very soon. Like and subscribe, share it around. I love you all very much. Thanks for being here. Cheers.